Yo, hey, what's up guys? In today's video we have to talk about the event dungeon, and our good boy Yannick, he came around with a really nice solution for it. And always thank you Yannick that you let me go on your account and teach people what you came around, and yeah, all credits go to him. And we have to talk about the team, but before we gonna go too in deep about it, I wanna give a couple words about the event dungeon right now. I think it is a little bit too hard, and maybe you know, I'm a passionate team builder. I really do enjoy team building. I have also the test server, so I can freely just try whatever I want. So I tried a bunch of things, and there was not just only one thing, and I think every content creator kind of came to the conclusion that SEER is the best thing. But also, of course, you can have other teams. I saw, for example, let's say a Wukong, a couple of, let me put him in, a couple of Revivers or something like that is super tanky. Let's say, what does he have? It's not my account, so I'm not too sure. Let's say Duchess, let's say Ankara, let's say Mifrala, and GNUT or a HP burner. So basically, you let the ads live and you just block, buff them, give them HP burn or max HP hit or whatever, and you just let the ads live. But also the thing is, then I tried to do it myself, and I was able to do it, but the requirements are so goddamn high on the end that you have 300 speed, 100,000 HP, 5,000 defense while having 500 accuracy. And I think that's a little bit too much. And also the other teams that are really nice are, for example, 2 times GNUT, then you Euphorion, Acresia, and go just in and kill them really, really fast. And I think the requirements are really, really bad. And in my opinion, SEER is probably the best thing that you can bring right here. Everything is just way too hard and inconsistent. So we all want a SEER. And Yannick came to the same conclusion. He was like, yes, I want to bring my SEER, but my SEER is first of all not 6-star, and also she needs a ton of stats if you have a 6-star and you'd go the normal route. But he came up with, just put her in Stoneskin, so you will not get the turn meter decrease from the Valkyrie, and that's how you actually can go lower speeds and you're always in tune and stuff. And also, what is really important, what if you don't have a 6-star? What if you don't ignore a ton of defense? Of course, then you gotta bring buffs. But you know how this dungeon is. I saw many people that went just the normal route, put a couple buffs out there, didn't kill those ads, or they did not get a turn anymore. So you have kind of 2 solutions on the end. You build your SEER kind of really fast, or something around that is the SEER needs to be really fantastic on the end. But if you use Stoneskin, it is not so hard anymore, because we go now into a run. We will, as usually, we use Arbiter. There could be other solutions on the end. And on the end, I will give you in the description a note where Yannick put together what kind of speeds you need and how far from each other to make it actually work. So don't you worry, just go in the description and say please thank you to Yannick. He made an awesome work. So we're gonna boost. We're gonna kill. And also yeah, that's a really nice example right there. You see the Valkyrie right now? I wanted to mention that Yannick is kind of a perfectionist. He wants to do the job even when those debuffs are not consistently landing, because we know 3% is happening and one of those ads at some point will always gain it. So what he came up with was all his calculation for his team right now is basically if they get one of those debuffs, and that is super likely to happen. If they don't get both, then we are still kind of in a problem, but I think every team out there is then in a problem, and it's not so likely to happen. And then the GNUT goes in, max HP the first time. Of course he counterattacked, that's no problem. Then he's gonna buff, but this is not gonna affect our SEER, so she will take a turn and see how many buffs we have. And since we are so slow on the end, we can actually go accuracy and crit damage in the same way because we are so slow. And also, yeah, now we're gonna just do the nuke, and you saw Valkyrie right there, even just a weaken and she died. So his calculation was based on things like that they got just one debuff, and that's really, really nice. So on the end, if you think the stats you see right now are maybe a little bit too high for you, then you can just think, okay, kind of sometimes an ad will survive. It will not happen all the time, but you can go a little bit lower on crit damage, and you probably just kill them really easy if you have decreased defense and weaken out there. That shouldn't be a problem for you at all. And afterwards we're gonna do one run where I just let it go, because then you get a feeling like how fast is it, how stable is it. Okay, you can see right now how stable it is. It is really nice. The SEER LYDIA combo is basically the only thing that is really nice in this dungeon. That's kind of sad. Of course, you can use your Gizmex and all those crazy champions, your Siegfrieds and stuff, and put like a million stats on them. But I think that's not the best for a hype moment for a dungeon right now. So we kind of should at least bring a couple of teams in here that are really nice. Maybe I haven't seen, or I can't think of something myself. If you know something that is really consistent without having the most stats in the world, like I know it's for endgame, but I just mean like don't go 350 speed while having 500 accuracy, 5000 defense, 100,000 HP. You kind of know what I mean. We're gonna freely sell that one, and now we're gonna go one more run completely in auto, and you will see how it works and stuff. And I think that's really genius. The Stoneskin is just denying the turn meter decrease, makes you go slower, so you can actually get more buffs, where you can get the accuracy to steal those buffs from the enemies. That is a really, really nice combo, and I really do like it. Like, if my 6-star wouldn't be, if my SEER wouldn't be a 6-star, and I'm kind of able to get my stats on point, I would really go for this one. Try to check out the optimizer. Can I do 200 speed while having like 300 crit damage? Is that possible? And it's probably a little bit more likely for you than just having lethal 350 speed and 350 crit damage while having a 6-star. Not everybody is like that. And I seen that in the Discord channel. I'm over there kind of a couple times for a voice chat, just for the community, and ask questions and stuff, and people came around and they had kind of a problem to make their SEER work. For example, like Yannick, he wasn't too sure about the stats, and also he didn't have the 6-star, so he needed also the buffs to do the nuke down. And the nuke down you can, yeah, like you only get to your SEER when she has Stoneskin, or otherwise if you give her a ton of buffs, she never takes a turn because she gets decreased all the time. So really genius, I really do like it. I think we got a little bit unlucky on our second max HP hit or something, so but that is how it is. At this moment it is not really likely that you're gonna die. Like, maybe our Arbiter is gonna die now or something, that could be okay, but Lydia's passive is still there, so she will get auto-revived. And when it's just an A1, then still see she's just dead and still people doing the job. Oh yeah, her boss is at the moment getting a ton of block damage. I also dislike this function kind of for a boss. It's kind of an anti-thing about the let the ads live, or else you are kind of in trouble when that happens all the time. And even if you bring block buffs, you can't do it over and over again, that they just never have it, because you get stunned and you lose a cooldown because of it and all that. It's just, I think SEER on the end will be the best. Of course, you bring your end game crack and stuff, you can do it nice, but I also think about the people that cannot do it. And also, even now, the stats aren't like the easiest in the world, but still better to reach, I think, than usually when you don't have the 6-star. If you have a 6-star and stuff and you got all the gear in the world, oh, obviously that's maybe not something for you, but also maybe you want to not bring your best gear on your SEER at the moment or something like that, and you can just skip. Wait, let me show you the preset, that's also important. So GNUT is just gonna do that thing. Arbiter, yes. I think she always does like A3, A4 when those are ready. A little tip about him, if you want to use him, just make sure he goes right before SEER. Like he is next in turn order. The block debuffs is just for one turn, and if you take a turn, for example, on your GNUT, you will lose one buff. And we got LYDIA doing her thing. Like your block buffs on the end is kind of more important than the decreased defense. And also SEER is just doing attacks, attacks, and attacks. Let's talk about the stats. Recently used first. Really nice button if you can use it. In Hydra it does not work. I hate it. But let's talk about the stats and stuff. We have that's protection 9 piece. Nice. Like I said, I give you in the description a little note of Yannick what kind of speeds you need to go flawless into each other. So we got 291 on here on a protection set. Of course she has the accuracy. That is was needed, but also keep in mind there is a accuracy lead from our GNUT. So, wait, masteries, let me show you correctly. Those are the mastery. Our GNUT, he is in a damage set. He has 261 speed. Yannick told me that it isn't important if he goes before or after SEER, that does not matter on the end. Your speed tune will not be affected, so it kind of, if you go 230, maybe your run is a little bit longer, but it's still okay. Of course he has like crit rate, crit damage. Let's say the accuracy is not made for this dungeon right now, but basically he's not being used for doing something with his accuracy. Wait, let me show you the masteries. Did I already do? I don't know, I'm just gonna do it again. So, Arbiter. She needs to be fastest, obviously she's gonna boost you, but don't you worry, this speed right there is just his Arbiter. Like, it's not necessary, that's why I say, go into the description, I will put a note what he has on speeds. I think it was way slower, I can't quite remember what he said, but it was way slower than that, don't you worry. Masteries are like this. And now let's talk about the SEER. You already seen in the video that I was able to kill a Valkyrie with just a weaken. I also put down his crit damage amulet. So we are lower than before, but his calculations are just made for that. So you saw it, the weaken is still okay. And those kind of stats you want, it's around 300% crit damage, of course 100% crit rate, 200 speed is I think the minimum, but like I said, go in the description. And you also want to give your accuracy, it's just better for you so you can steal up those buffs from them and the boss doesn't have the counter attack and all those nasty things. But to be honest, it could also be if you just go a little bit more crit damage, you might can skip a little bit on the accuracy and it should maybe okay. Maybe you have to just test out what's working for you, but I highly recommend the accuracy would be just better, but also you gain accuracy from the aura. Also we like crit damage right here, that's always cool, that's why SEER always looks a little bit better, because you can simply afford to go crit damage and here it's 20% for you and nothing else would matter, so she always takes it, so her crit damage looks naturally a little bit easier. And of course he got crushing rent on a 5-star. If you have a 3-star and stuff, that should be totally doable in your realm. But maybe, I can't tell if you don't have any blessings. It's a hardcore dungeon, that's kind of what I mean. The dungeon is maybe a little bit too hard to create fantastic teams without the most overpowered stuff in the game. And here we have Marcelio Mage. He's in a shield set, so gives us a extra turn. Not turn, an extra buff. He is 260 speed. And basically the rest doesn't matter for him. Maybe, of course, build him a little bit tanky so he doesn't just die over and over, so that's okay. And yeah, there was the last champion. Masteries are like this. And on the end, dungeon, I think is a little bit too hard to create teams, but also I really do like the solution what Yannick came around. He just showed that you just think outside the box a little bit. You can get those stats way easier if you are slower. I get it, if you are 260 speed and you want to have 440 accuracy and 300 crit damage on a savage set and stuff, it's might a little bit too hard and you have to break too much for this event dungeon, but you just slap Stoneskin on her and you shouldn't be affected on the decreased turn meter anymore, and that's really genius, I like it. And also, yes, that will be the end of the video. Put a like. Also say thanks to Yannick in the comments and subscribe if you haven't done already, and yeah, have a nice day.